Up, guys. Now I have to be on good behavior. So, I had a wrist injury, a while ago. 2018. 2018, the end of 2018. I had a wrist injury. It was so bad. And it was tendonitis. And people say like tendonitis is forever. Like it's like how you heal it, you don't use it. And I'm like a full-time yoga teacher. And honestly, in a really dark place in my life where like yoga for most of my life had been like my only healthy coping mechanism. And it was like excessive to the point that maybe it wasn't healthy. But anyway, that's a different story. Yoga was my only healthy coping mechanism. I'm in this terrible place in my life. I get tendonitis in my wrist, right? And they're like, yeah, the only way is to not use it. And I'm like, and then people were telling me, yeah, you may not ever get rid of it. It may just like be like a thing where it's like either flared up or it's not. Like it may be forever. I freaked out. I also ignored, I started to get pain and I ignored it. I like started to get pain in my wrist before I knew what it was. And I was like, it's fine. I can just modify the way that I rotate my arms and use my hands during the practice and whatever, right? And then it like started to hurt more and more. And I still was like, it's fine. I can just like fix my shoulders or whatever, right? And then it got to a point where it was so bad that I was like looking for jobs and like on my computer looking for a place to live, and like typing on the computer caused me to literally break out in tears because my wrist hurt that bad. That's how bad it was. Like just typing on my computer, because using my thumb, that's where it came from. It was on the side of my wrist. That's how bad it hurt. Imagine that. Typing on the computer makes you cry, like bust out in tears. So I like pushed myself to that point. And then when I figured out what it was and what was going on, I was like, dude, all right, like I'm scared shitless that this is gonna be a forever thing. I can't use my wrist. And so I straight up would go to yoga every day. And like I practiced on my elbows. And I would get like 4 blocks when I went to my mat, right? And like I would like do cat-cow like this. The blocks on the mat. Right? And then I would like avoid vinyasas. If I did vinyasa, I would like step back on the blocks like this, I would lift up, and then I'd be in forearm stand. Lots of forearm stands.
Damn.
And my friends, who were also yoga teachers especially, were like totally impressed. Like I have a really good friend, I have a friend who's a really good friend, I have a really good teacher. She came up to me and whispered in my ear and she was like, you like created your own yoga. She was like completely amazed because I could not stop. And you know, I mean, I was a little younger back then. I'm still young now.
So how long did it take?
Over a year.
Fuck. Cause it's been like 6 weeks. I'm like, why did they come?
Over a year. Over a year. And like part of that year I moved to the commune that I lived at, and my asana practice like totally like for the most part stopped for a little bit. Like I wasn't able to be as into yoga and I wasn't teaching. So that really gave me the rest that I needed. But the thing that I'm amazed at looking back is like my like mentality and drive has changed as I've gone through years and like changed a little bit. I look back to the drive of like, I'm going to do yoga, but like not do yoga in any way, shape, or form that I know it. And it gave me this approach to things, which was very parallel to my life, where I was like, I got hurt so bad. I was so hurt and so injured and so in a way broken and like handicapped that it implemented this, or like opened up an awareness for a completely new way of movement, which required so much more thoughtfulness and structure and like really care for myself and modification. And it really brought me to the other end of the spectrum where I had always been so open-hearted, go with the flow, do whatever anyone asks of me, go above and beyond, push myself to the end. And then I had to step into this place of like holding myself back, being okay with something, just anything that I could get.
Yeah.
You know? And I look at the balance between those ways of moving on our mats and those ways of moving in the world, and I see so much value in both of them.
Yeah.
And I notice myself oscillating between those two ways of moving in my life and on my mat. But really what we want is to find a space where we can access either of those and both of those, just the right amount of each. But we want to honor the things that are not so pretty about whatever we're going through. Because that's what's going to enable us to be honest. The problem is that even if we have access to the ability to find this balance, we're not really honest with the fact that our wrist is hurting. We're not really honest with the fact that our heart is broken. We're not really honest with the fact that we made a huge mistake. And we need to admit that in order to clean it up. Right? So we're gonna start in a restorative pose, and I want you all, encourage you all to be honest with yourself about where you're at right now, physically, mentally, emotionally. I've been asked to do a practice that's not wrist heavy, so that's what we're doing for all of you online. You not hear that. And we're gonna just keep things strong, but also just like be where we are. Cool. All right, we're all gonna get started in a supported bridge pose. If you don't have a block, that's cool. You can use a pillow, or you can just take a bridge pose option that I'll give. So go ahead and lay down on your back, and you're gonna place the block underneath your butt. And I think the block should be not on your lower back vertebra. The edge of the block should be just below or just on that top end of the pelvis where like your hip bones go to the back body. And then if you don't have a block, just lay down like you're setting up for bridge pose, and you can turn your heels outward and your toes inward and knock your knees towards one another. That's gonna help to open up the lower back. That's an option if you do have your block. But if you want more of an opening through the hip flexors, which is what I'm kind of going to go for, you're going to extend your legs long and let them be, let your feet be wide so they're just inside the edges of the mat. This is going to be a little deeper. It's still going to open up your lower back, but it's going to enable there to be a little bit more of a lengthening through the hip flexors as well, which is really nice. A lot of the tension in the torso is actually due to tension in the hips and the legs. And we always open up through the front body in the belly, which is already an open space in the front body. When we're opening the front body, what we really want to focus on opening is the hip flexors, which are tight, and the shoulders, the chest, the collarbones, which is also tight. And maybe even notice what happens if you reel the belly in, just here in this position for a moment, by activating your core, by wrapping your lower ribs down and your frontal hip bones down towards the belly button. And feel how that affects the openness, or rather the sensations that you might feel in the collarbones and in the hip flexors. And imagine yourself pointing your tailbone towards your heels. So you're trying to get that pelvis, so it's not tilting on a diagonal level, it's really just quite, what's the word? Quite in the same plane as the block that's underneath it, if that makes sense. If you imagine your pelvis like a 3D rectangular, 3D rectangle. I was gonna say a cube, but a cube is like a square, so that would be contradictory. Really imagine that pelvis kind of like a second block stacked on top of the block that's underneath you, supporting you. And then I want you to feel yourself, without moving anything, just pushing energy through your extremities, through your fingertips, from one fingertip to the other. And pushing energy through the toe tips. And breathe into those pathways that you're just kind of intellectually, or rather imaginatively opening. And notice if there's any sensation that comes along with that mental exercise, that subtle exercise. And then I want you to open the eyes and continue to do that movement of energy through breath and body. I want you to just stare at one point at the ceiling. And as you open up the body, I want you to be present in your body and present in this room. So we're totally tuning in to where we are. Where am I? And then your toes are probably falling outward. I want you to just wrap your inner thighs down and point your toes up towards the sky, and then actively flex your toes back towards your knees. And then go ahead and lift your right foot up towards the sky. So your legs are in an L shape. Keep your left leg where it is and just press through the right heel. And engage your right thigh. And then go ahead and bend in your right knee. Pull the right knee into the chest. Pull the right knee like you're trying to reach it towards your right shoulder. And then go ahead and kick your right leg up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, bend in the right knee towards the right shoulder. Inhale, kick the right foot up. Exhale, bend. Kick it up. Exhale, bend. Keep the left leg active and strong. Inhale, kick it up. Exhale, bend in the right knee, grab the hands around the right thigh, and then you can use the hands to pull the right knee towards the right shoulder. And as you add that pressure with the hands, with the arms, the right leg, feel the left hip flexor opening, keep the left foot flexed. Continue to move energy all the way through the body into the feet energetically as you breathe. Let the breath be a way of moving energy. Feel the breath in the furthest points of the body. Like imagine your breath opening your toes, creating a more spacious feeling in the toes. Feel that left hip flexor opening up. And then go ahead and lift the right leg back up to the sky. Flex the right foot, flex the left foot, engage the left thigh, the right thigh, and then just slowly lower the right foot down back where it came from. Very gently. And then go ahead on the next inhale, lift the left foot up to the sky. Just pause with your legs in an L-shaped position. Really flex the right foot. Right toes flexing back, but let the flex be in the ankle rather than the toes. The toes are just flexing unless you feel yourself using the ankle. So really imagine yourself stretching through the heel, and then the toes just pull back slightly. And then go ahead and bend in the left thigh, the left leg, left knee towards the left shoulder. And then go ahead and extend it, lift it long, straighten it, bend, and extend. Keep the right foot flexed, the right leg engaged. Exhale, bend. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Inhale, extend. One more. Exhale, bend. Clasp the hands behind the left thigh. Pull the left knee in towards the left shoulder. And notice the sensation that might be intensified in the right hip flexor. That's what I experience. And if that's not the sensation, you're identifying what you can identify what the sensation is. Right, and we simply want to respond to sensations. I find that what keeps me from responding to sensation is I label the sensation as good or bad. And it doesn't keep me from responding to the sensation, which I just said, rather it taints the way that I respond to the situation, because then I begin to kind of want good and not want bad and manipulate things in the sense of the way I want it to be. For example, if I'm in pain, I indicate that as bad and I try to, in a way, ignore that rather than, okay, so pain, it's like I feel pain, that's bad. Right? And then my reaction to that is like, I'm shaming it almost, right? And then go ahead and lift the left foot up to the sky. And then go ahead and lower the left heel down towards the floor very gently and slowly. Reach the arms up overhead. Try to make the hands, the elbows, the wrist, all shoulder width distance, and then kind of pull down on the upper arm bones so that you feel this engagement of the shoulders and this opening through the inner edge of the armpits and the shoulders. And then very gently engage the core, the lower ribs towards the belly button and the frontal hip bones towards the belly button. You should be able to feel your core start to shake even, and then lift the legs up towards the sky. And find this leg supported, almost like legs up the wall, like legs, your feet are all the way up. And then you can go ahead and just roll out your ankles. And really just roll out the ankles in a way where you're seeking a really fine sensation in the ankles and feet, right? So for me, as I do this, I feel warmth in my ankles. It's almost like I can feel like fluidity coming in, like I can feel my fluids moving. And then go ahead and switch directions with those circles. And then the warmth is like really increasing for me. And the movement almost feels a little stickier in some ways. And then go ahead and hug both knees into the chest. Let your tailbone tilt upwards, find a little bit of a rounding in the spine. Take the legs over the face. Finding a stretch in the back of the hamstrings. If you want, you can reach the hands just on top and outside of the shins or the thighs. Oh, the pelvis is still resting on the block. So really just stretching in the back of the hamstrings. And then go ahead and release the legs all the way back down, the butt to the block still. Bend in both knees. Reach the hands to frame the hips. Pinch the shoulder blades together, and then go ahead and point the tailbone towards the knees and lift up into a bridge pose, pushing the chest towards the chin. Maybe walking the shoulder blades a little closer together, lifting the chin away from the sternum as you reach the sternum towards the chin. So there's this like everything's moving upwards and away from the feet. And then you're kind of squeezing your heels towards your butt, like you're trying to drive your feet towards your butt, but reaching your knees away from you. You should feel your hamstrings activating here. Just a couple more breaths here. Really focus on crunching your shoulder blades together. And then go ahead and remove the block. And then gently roll your leg all the way down, round the lower ribs, just the belly button, keep it slow. Lower down, keep the vertebra of the middle back, the lower back. Finally, let the pelvis rest. And then go ahead and hug your knees into your chest. And roll the spine forward and back, forward and back. I want you to pause balancing on your butt. Squeeze your knees together with your palms. And then wrap your fingers around your knees and pull your chest forward and up with your knees. Yeah, find that openness in the collarbones. Maybe experiment with opening up the elbows. You feel like it kind of helps with the lymph nodes when you bring the elbows out like this to help cleanse them and detox them. And this itself is like a core exercise. Just holding like this, right? So really focus on get to the flesh of your butt and try to plant your tailbone against the floor. So you're really, really moving down to your step. And then go ahead and just cross the legs in a Sukhasana, but rather than the feet close to the pelvis, let them be outward. So it's kind of like a pigeon pose. You know, some people do their pigeon pose with their foot and their knee kind of parallel. It's kind of like a pigeon in the leg that's behind, and then your leg goes forward, the shins are actually going diagonally outward a little bit. And then notice how that enables you to really plant down through all four corners of the pelvis. And you get this nice space through the lumbar spine, right? And then I want you to go ahead and lean back and squeeze your knees together and find like a rounding in the spine. You can place your fingertips on the ground, it's kind of weird. And then lean forward and open the knees back up. And then go ahead and lean back, around the spine, squeeze the knees together again, just do your thing, and then go ahead and open it back up. So you're kind of playing with this movement here, right? It's almost like if you've gone like, when you're a kid, you know, when you did like the butterfly pose, so it's kind of like the butterfly pose. So even if you need to just stay still, you can kind of find that. You're kind of like butterflying legs. And make sure you have your blocks in your curve. And then what we're going to go ahead is do from nearest. Give your left leg in front, research down first. So right leg in front, you're going to go ahead and rotate over to the left. Reach diagonally behind your left hip. And then you're just very gently, you can use your blocks, using the weights, you're going to roll out into a wider leg, full facing the back. Good, and then go ahead and lift your left leg up and back behind you, and find like a standing split. So you're just on your fingertips, you have your legs, you shouldn't have too much weight, you can come up to your fingertips if you like. And as you reach that left leg nice and high, I want you to bend in the right leg, and it's almost like your left leg pulls back, like you're in a supported warrior 3, and you go ahead and extend your right leg. And go ahead and bend in your right leg. Extend in the right leg, and let the left leg kind of do its thing, but keep it straight. That's like the mission of the left leg is to stay straight. The mission of the right leg is to bend and extend, and then you kind of just like go with the flow from there. And then you're going to go ahead and reach the left ankle, but reach the right. So you're kind of like crisscrossing the legs. Come to the tippy toes of the left foot. Roll back around towards the front of the mat. And then go ahead and reach the hands back behind you and sit back and extend the left. Does that make sense? Okay, so you're facing the front. So it's like you're in a standing split, you reach it back. And then you just roll back a little bit. It's kind of cool, right? Reach the right arm up. And then go ahead and reach forward inside the right leg and reach into the left foot. Breathe in. So bring your right foot a little further from the inside of the left thigh. If you're having issues kind of like getting forward, right? And then squeeze your right knee in towards your right shoulder and kind of like seal everything off. And then you pull your left hip back and your right hip forward as you do that. Then I want you to round your spine, engage your belly and hold your forehead towards your left knee. Really activate, or rather, activate the stretch in the back of the left hamstring. And then go ahead and reach both arms up. And then go ahead and reach the right arm outside the right hip and reach the left arm outside the right leg and then twist to the left arm out. Reaching outside the right leg is a little much. You can just hug it too. And then go ahead and grab your right ankle with your left hand, or you can grab outside the right foot if you flex the right foot and extend the right leg long. And then go ahead and reach the right arm back. Reach the right arm down to the floor. Swing the right arm up to the sky and a big half circle grab outside the right foot. Yep, keep your right knee bent if you need and fold forward. Keep the right leg straight if you need. Whatever best serves you, you can even like we did before, bend and lift, right? Good, now bend in the right knee. Okay, grab outside the right foot. Okay? And then bring that right foot into the right armpit, straighten the right leg. And then you can bend back into the right knee and cross the right ankle over the left thigh for your figure four stretch. So just getting into all these aspects of the hips, yeah? Kind of fun, right? Flex the left leg. To the left hamstring activating, and again, I want you to notice that right hip is going to want to wrap backwards slightly. Your hip wants to open, okay? So you don't have to open in the really tight parts of the body and the pelvis. You want to wrap that right hip forward and pull the left leg back. Lift it back. So you're leveling out the hips. Pinch the shoulder blades together, keep the chest open in your forward folds. Stay there just a couple more breaths. Today's different. Good. And then go ahead and lift up. And uncross the right leg. And you can just find a regular forward fold and notice the difference in your right leg and your left leg. And then go ahead and roll the shoulders back up, slide the hands back, bring the hips in, your heels out to the side and up overhead, flex the feet. Exhale, roll, engage the core, cascade forward, inhale, round and relax. Imagine yourself leading this week, finding your rhythms beside that. Exhale, reach forward. Round and roll up, arms out to the side, and up overhead. Exhale, again. Two more, inhale, roll it up. Let the hands be heavy and along the side of the body. Yeah, follow your own breath. The bullets lengthen it. So I find people breathing so odd in yoga, but then they don't know how to lengthen their breath. So I say go for the length or go for the audibleness. Audibleness is really. Exhale, relax slowly, pause on the hip. Lean back, bend the knees, left leg forward. And that's the position. So bring those legs forward a lot. So this left thigh diagonal, I'm going to go ahead and round the thigh. Maybe even your ankles just cross. Round, flex the spine for me, lean back, squeeze the knees together. And then open it up and lean back, squeeze the knees together. Open up, lean together. Lean back. And squeeze the knees together. Two more, third. And back. Knees, one more, third. And lean back. Squeeze the knees together. Lean forward. Come up all the way up. Reach the hips up. Side stretch to the right and reach the left and the right arm over. And then you can go ahead and lean on the side of the right hip. The left knee comes up. And you're going to open up into a wider leg forward fold towards the back of the mat. Then you're going to go ahead and bring your weight into your left foot. Reach the right leg up and back. Try to stay split. Straighten the right leg as much as you need. And go ahead and bend to the left knee. Standing leg, yeah, and then lift up. Bend in the left knee. Try to just keep the right leg straight. It doesn't matter where the hip points. Just really bend and extend through the left leg. Breathe in and breathe in. Two more times. Just bend and extend through the left leg. And last one, reach up through the left leg, extend the left leg, and reach up through the right leg. Then go ahead and bring the right leg all the way over to the left. Yeah, come to your tippy toes on the left foot. Walk the hands to the left, and you're going to very openly walk your hands to the right. And then you're going to go ahead and face back towards the front of the room. Do this. Oh my God. Go ahead and walk down. Yeah, I love it. Right leg's out in front of you, left knee bent. There's a little space between the left foot and the right thigh. Left knee touches your thigh, right? It's the left arm up. Right arm up, lean forward. So this isn't a struggle move. If anybody wants to take this more advanced, if you have this much openness immediately, in this move, you reach not for your right foot, but the goal is to open the left arm, body, you can reach around. But here, I just want you to reach your arms forward. Imagine, your arms are reaching forward, you're dropping your shoulders away from your ears and pinching your shoulder blades, so your chest is opening even though you're forward folding. So I really want you, if you take anything away from this class, I want you to think about the dynamic of what happens to your chest when you forward fold. Usually our chest closes, which means that our heart is closed. So we want to, as we fold into ourselves, or as we forward fold or we bow, right? We want to keep our hearts open. Shake that low. Keep the arms all the way up. And then go ahead and take a twist, right elbow outside the left leg, or give yourself a hug, and reach your right hand up to the sky. Keep your shoulders nice and open, chest. Well, this has been quite a long time. Feels good. Breathe in and breathe out. And then go ahead and reach outside the right foot, or through the right ankle with the left leg underneath with the right. And then go ahead and extend the left leg nice and long. Reach the left arm back behind you, and just balance a little bit in the this. Roll the shoulders back, open through the chest, lift the crown of the head higher. Like the tailbone down into the floor, like that same balancing posture we did on the butt. We go down to the chest side, move down to the belly. Right? We're not just going up, right? We're going up and down. Shock the energy, okay? And then go ahead and reach the left arm forward, up big through your sit. And then I'll go ahead and you can fold in, you can bend the left knee. But round the head towards the spine. If you want to straighten and extend that left knee there. And then go ahead and reach the left hand outside the left foot, bend the left knee, pull that left knee back like you're an archer, you're like pulling your arrow back, right? And then you can go ahead and just through a transition, extend the left leg outward, and then bend it back and wrap the left ankle on top of the right thigh. So your lower back should feel like really good after all of this, right? We didn't do a really back step or anything, but your lower back, you feel like that against. That was a little more. Beautiful. Use the blocks, use the support. Stay with your breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Una breath. Alright, go ahead and move up to seated. Extend the left leg long. I'm just going to do something very weird. Squeeze your legs together. Roll over into like a little bit of a cobra up dog situation. You'll be facing the back of the room, that's okay. Exhale, lower the forehead down. There's a bathroom right here, Jim, if you want. Okay. Roll the shoulders back towards the elbows. Lift the chest. Exhale, lower the tongue. Inhale, lift, cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, roll the shoulders back from the leg. Exhale down. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, pinch the elbows. Find your cobra, then lift your hands and reach them to the back of the head, elbows outward. Then reach the elbows up towards the sky for the strengthening in the lower back. Press down through all 10 toenails. Let your heels spread as you wrap your inner thighs towards the hamstrings. And then go ahead and let the heels come together as you wrap the inner thighs towards the quads. Keep the head lifted, wrap the heels open. Inner thighs wrap towards the hamstrings. Squeeze the heels closed, inner thighs wrap towards the quads. 3 more like that. Open up the heels. Head is just hardly lifted from the ground. Engage the core, heels squeeze together. Exhale. Inhale, open the heels. Exhale, close the heels. Very subtle movement. One more. Inhale, open. Exhale, heels close, engage the core. Hand under the shoulders, press back for child's pose, knees together. Once you get there, sweep the hands out like you're going a big half circle, and then reach the hands all the way towards the heels with the shoulders relaxed and tuck the knees. Round the spine, roll all the way up. Reach the fingertips towards the floor. Pinch the elbows together, lift the heart. And if you want, you can press up into a camel pose. And then go ahead and lower the hips down and round forward for a child's pose. Inhale, round, roll up, pinch the shoulder blades together, lift the chest, pinch the spine. Maybe press up a little more. So just undulating the spine, right? And then go ahead and lower the hips down. Round it. Last one, round, roll up, arch the spine. Lift the chest, point the tailbone down. And then go ahead and lower back down onto the knees. Reach the arms forward and down, have your hands closed. All right, now roll up, reach the arms forward and up. Just find a neutral spine. Gaze up in between the hands, open your arms wide to T. Eagle arms, right arm underneath the left. Wrap the arms, and then just draw 3 circles with the elbows to the right. Eagle arms, right arm underneath the left. And then draw 3 circles in the other direction. So you're really getting into the elbows. And then go ahead and just neutral, everything neutral with the arms stay. Come up onto the knees. Step your left foot forward, find a little lunge. And then go ahead and extend your left leg, flex your left foot, and you lean forward, find like a half split variation of any sort. And then you're gonna bend back into the left knee, let the hips pull forward. Extend the left leg, move forward to the chest. Lift the chest, bend into the left leg. Extend the left leg, move forward, half split. Good, bend into the left leg, pause here. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. Stay leaning forward in the chest. So you have this like diagonal angle. And what tends to happen here the most is people are leaning forward and their hips get out of whack. So I want you to really put a lot of pressure into the left heel. Feel the left glute activate. Keep the right leg straight as you bend in the left leg, just like that standing split, right? The right leg stays straight. You can unbend out the left leg as much as you need, but I want you to feel your left glute wrapping underneath your left hip rather than your hips pushing out to the left. And then go ahead and come to standing with the right knee in the chest, balancing on that left leg. And then you can go ahead and cross the right leg over the left, find an eagle pose. Breathe in and breathe out. Again, really press down through the left heel. Good. And then you're gonna unwind the arms, reach the arms up to the sky, reach the right knee to the chest, take that one a moment. And then go ahead and reach the hands down, grab the right ankle, find a tree pose. And now it's a lot of balance. And in your tree pose, I want you to think about wrapping your right hip down. Yes, and pulling your frontal hip bones up towards your belly button. So you're pulling your belly in. Yeah, it changes things, yeah? Hands to heart. Release the right foot from the left thigh. Yeah, so you're just like outward, right knee is at a 90-degree angle and the right knee is still outward. And then you can go ahead and kick that right leg back slightly, find like a half Ardha Chandrasana. You're just leaning a little bit. And then lower the right foot down. Straighten the left leg, open the arms. Triangle pose. Reach the right heel outward. Left hand outside the left foot or to the left shin. Triangle pose is like so yummy. I think it's turned into one of my favorite poses. I just love it so much. And so in your triangle pose, what I want you to think about is, bring this heel outward more. Right toes are at like a 45-degree angle, like a warrior one or warrior two. Warrior one, Can your toes in like one a little bit? Now press into my foot. So weight in the outer edge of the right foot, and the right hip pulls down. Yeah, you feel that? And the left hip pulls back. Yes, that's why your name goes up. Come up more. And then your left hip pulls back, and your tailbone comes down towards your right heel. So you're trying to puff up through the lower part of the spine. Your frontal hip bones are wrapping through your belly button. Then you're rolling the left shoulder back, extending to the left side body. And as your left hip rolls back, the sternum is rolling up. So your left hip is rolling back into the left, and your right sternum is rolling to the right. So this opposition going on, you're really bringing out your body, but you still have a straight spine. Drop the lower ribs down towards the belly button as you open up the chest. Drop the left shoulder blade down, back in. Yes, beautiful. You feel that? So juicy. These adjustments have made me fall in love with triangle pose. And then go ahead and swing the right hand forward. Bring the left foot, bend into the left knee, reach the right leg all the way up again. Find a standing split. And then go ahead and bring the right knee behind the left ankle. Done your Jiva squat. Try not to put any weight in the hands. Just use your fingertips. Maybe you can even balance if you do it lift and extend. Jiva squat. Exhale down. Inhale, lift the right leg up to the sky. Extend the left leg. Jiva squat. That's 3, 2 more. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, bend. 1 more, inhale, extend. Exhale, bend, lower the right knee all the way outside the left foot. Reach the arms all the way up. Take a twist again, right elbow outside the left knee. And then go ahead and reach both arms out to the left. Out to the right. Yeah, extend your right arm long. And then just roll, stack the left knee on top of the right and roll onto your belly. Let the forehead fall to the floor, reach outside the feet. Actually outside the shins, underneath the ankles. Or on the ankles, and lift into a boat pose. Your chest is lifted and your thighs are reaching towards the floor. Kick your ankles into your hands. Breathe in and breathe out. Keep everything strong. Try to squeeze your knees and your feet towards each other. It'll actually help activate the muscles of your back. It won't look like you're doing as much, but your back, you'll feel your lower back muscles turn on, which is what we all really need. More support through the back body in the lower spine because we tend to open so much through the belly, right? And then go ahead and reach the hands down. Press back for a child's pose. Untuck the toes. Roll up, find a seated position. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, extends out to the side and up. Gaze up in between the hands, almost like you're holding a package, lifting it up. Then open the arms out to a T. Bring the left arm underneath the right for eagle arms. Come up to your knees. Step your right foot forward. Find this lunge and then go ahead and extend the right leg. Lean forward, half splits, flex the right foot. Inhale, lunge, bend into the right leg, lower the hips down. Exhale, lower it. Lean forward, pardon me, and extend the right leg. Bend into the right leg, lift the chest, lift everything. Exhale, torso leans, right leg extends. 2 more. Bend into the right leg. Extend the right leg. Bend into the right leg. Extend. And in. Tuck the left toes, lift the left knee. Really lean forward into the right heel. Feel the right hip wrapping underneath you. So try not to let those hips move outward and the spine gets out of whack, right? And then go ahead and come up onto the right leg, lift the left knee up and into the chest. Cross the left leg over the right, find an eagle pose. And again, try to keep that connection with the right heel to the ground and the right glute wrapping underneath you. And again. Need my rap music. Woo. And then from here, you're going to go ahead and lift the left knee to the chest and find a tree pose. Connect the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. And then notice the tendency of that left hip to want to lift. Wrap it down and point the tailbone down, scooping the front of the hip bones up. Breathe in and breathe out. And then you can release the left foot from the right leg and just find this 90-degree angle on the left leg. The left is still outward. And then you're gonna rotate open like you're doing like a half moon variation, but one that's like really easy to hold with the hands down. So it's like a half moon, right? Just something that helps you to find that positioning, right? Bend into the right knee, lower the left foot down, reach the arms up, front for a triangle pose stretch. Through the right leg, lean forward, reach the right arm forward, and then lower the right hand outside the right foot with the block, without the block. And what I really encourage you to pay mind of is the positioning of the hips. Right, so we're pressing down firmly through the outer edge of the left foot. Yeah, wrapping that left heel outward. And then we're letting the left hip pull forward and the right hip pull back. Yeah, so there's this like severe, feel that here, right? And then point the tailbone down towards the left heel by scooping it from the bones up. Yes. And then you're really feeling that karate chopping. It's the right hand that you might have heard other teachers use before. And you're finding length through the left side body by pulling the lower ribs up. Pardon me, length through the right side body by pulling the lower left ribs down. And then wrapping the ribs into the belly, engage the core. Keep the right hand pulling back and to the right as you wrap the sternum out to the left. So you're really opening through that left side body and then wrapping the torso. But we want to think of maintaining this nice straight spine. Keep the lower ribs in front of the rib bones wrapping towards each other. Beautiful. And then the chest is open as the lower ribs wrap down. It's another point of opposition. It's really difficult. So this is beautiful, June. This is very advanced too. Breathe in and breathe out. Enjoy that for just another moment or so. And then go ahead and swing the left arm to frame the right foot. Lean forward into the right leg. Oh, pardon me. Reach it up. Roll it around. Is that what we did last time? No, we did this. Reach the left leg up to the sky, pardon me. Bend into the right knee, bend into the left knee. Find this Jiva squat, and then go ahead and lift up, half split. And bend. And lift. And bend. And lift. 3 more, bend. Take your time, follow the pace of your breath. And notice how you can potentially stick with the guideline, something you're given, and then modify it to fit your needs, right? So it doesn't have to be this whole conformity to the external or rejection of the external. There's this beautiful balance, this beautiful play, right? And you're playing with it. And then go ahead and find that twist. Left knee comes outside the right foot, lower down. So right arm back, left arm up. And twist. Breathing in. And then go ahead and raise the arms to the left. And go ahead and stack the right knee on top of the left. You're gonna go walk over and just roll over. It's not perfect, but it's fun. Right? Find this cobra pose if you'd like. In your cobra pose, think about lowering your lower ribs to your belly button, wrapping the outer edges of the shoulders back and pinching the shoulder blades together. Let the tops of the shoulders drop. And then lower down. Reach outside the feet now. You're grabbing the tops of the feet. Let's find one bow pose, yeah? So really think about pinching the shoulder blades together, opening through the collarbones. Your hands are grabbing your feet. And then you just want to lift the feet like you're trying to poke a hole in the sky with your toes. And then go ahead and lower it down. Reach your arms out to a T. Okay, lift your chest, reach your right arm over to the left, so your right arm's crossing in front of your chest. And then reach your left arm over the right shoulder. And then you're gonna tuck your toes, scooch forward, and roll on top of your shoulders until your palms your arms rotate and your palms are facing that. If you'd like a little more of this, you can reach the chin over the left shoulder. This is going to be our pigeon today. We'll probably actually take pigeon variation today. Breathe in and breathe out here. Feel the arms opening. And then go ahead, 3 more breaths. Open the arms wide. And then go ahead and reach the left arm over the right. Reach the right arm in front of the left. Yeah, we're doing the same thing. So you might end up off of your mat. You're going to tuck your toes and roll over your arms. Let your arms rotate at the tops of the hands point up. And welcome to the most intense shoulder stretch ever. And then go ahead, and if you want it a little more intense, you can reach the chin over the right shoulder. Breathe in, breathe out. The most intense shoulder stretch. The most intense shoulder stretch. So if you do it like this, it'll help you stand up more. Chest and toe. Then do this. Reach back to your right. Right arms back. Cross up. Feel that? Press into the hands and lift the chest. All right, and then you can go ahead and arms across the arms, reach one arm long and out in front of you. After you uncross, and then just roll onto your back. So we're kind of like getting pretty sexy today. Roll open. Pull your right knee towards your right shoulder, flex your right foot towards the side, out a half gaze. Left foot is nice and long. And so you have 2 options. Okay, the 2 options are number 1, kind of like a Padangusthasana or a rising pose or a super advanced pose. You can bring your right leg over your right shoulder, then zip this one up. And then you can straighten your right leg and bend it and just kind of take this like a bird of paradise step. Or you can bring your right foot into your left elbow and round the spine and come up off the floor, rounding the spine. And hold your right leg like a baby, right? It's like a lying down, like a reclined pigeon pose. And so you're reaching, and if you can't get into the elbow, the right foot comes first to the left foot. And you let your right knee come outward, and you feel the back of the lotus stone open. And then from there, you can, if you're flexible enough, try to round the spine and roll up. And find this parallel right shin, but that is a more open hip position. You're good where you are. So keep your left knee going outward, actually. You don't need to pull the left. Pardon me, you don't need to pull the right knee. Release the right hand. Yeah, feel that? But not all the way down. Just, you're kind of holding this. Because letting the knee open up all the way is going to pull up some things. So you want the lower spine. And then go ahead and release the right leg, and then bend in the left knee, go on the outside of the left leg, pull the left knee, left arm. And you can just go right into that pigeon variation if you'd like, if you play with it anymore, so you can try like wearing that left knee like backpack, opening up the left leg and closing it. And then go ahead and release the left leg. And go ahead and relax into Vrishvasana. And if you want to do even more support for the lower back, you can place blocks underneath your knees and lay back down into your Shavasana. And let your feet be kind of wide. Breathe in, breathe out. Release. So when I come into Shavasana, try to remember that the point is to release the breath and to release the mind, not to be actively trying to focus on anything too external. What really helps me is to bring my focus to the back of my eyelids and just pay attention to that black space behind my eyelids. That practice of focusing on something that is so subtle and so simple and ultimately something regarded as like pretty meaningless, just like it enables me to find this like potency and power in even that just by giving it attention and choosing to give it attention. And I realize how important my focus and my attention is. How much my focus and my attention, when I give that, how much it gives to whatever I'm giving it to. So wherever I am is also framed by the way I choose to look at where I am. Simply just give it attention and see. lesson made for a little longer, but we're gonna close class, go ahead and get to breathe deep as a way of choosing to re-enter back into your body through the breath. Re-enter back into the room through the breath, and before you move, you can open your eyes and continue to breathe deep. Just checking in with where you are. And if you feel like that's a little difficult, maybe just look at where you've been, how you got here. And go ahead and continue to breathe deep, reach the arms up over your head. Bend the knees and roll to one side for fetal position as if you were sleeping on your side. And then go ahead and pause here in the fetal position for a moment. Honor the child within, playful, inspired, and pure, and embody these aspects of ourselves fully. Coming up to the seated position. Bring our hands to heart center. Simply a symbol of bringing our hands or actions in alignment with our hearts or intentions. May we honor this practice of mindfulness, and may we use that cultivation of mindfulness throughout our days. May we be willing to check in with where we are and to move with intention and awareness. And bow forward, take hands to heart. Namaste.
Namaste. Class.
It's fun, right? My lower back feels good. Just saying. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. It is like just my greatest pleasure to be able to be inspired by people like showing up for themselves and for their bodies and their minds, and like everyone out their mat. And it's an honor to be part of that.